Hi Joanne, it's Diane. So I wanted to answer your questions about the Sidewinder hat, and to do so I decided to knit about half of the hat in a yarn that you can more easily see what I'm talking about. So the cast on is 40 stitches, and this is looking at the hat from the outside. As you can see, the hat has like 3 distinct sections. This is the brim section, the 14 stitches at the beginning. This is the middle section, which is 20 stitches. Oh, my cat decided she needs to say hello. And this is the very top where the crown will be. So when you're looking at this, when I refer to a wedge, I mean the, oh, there goes my other cat. I mean these 6 rows. When I refer to a wedge, I mean these 6 rows here, as in the pattern. So this is, I believe, 12 wedges right now. So that you can see, the only place that you should be having any gaps is where the turns are here and where the turns are up here. You shouldn't have any holes in here or in these 6 stitches or in these 14 stitches. Now what I like to do is write myself a little cheat sheet. As you can see, I actually knit the hat on a 24-inch circular needle because for me it just distributes the weight a little bit better. I'm not trying to hold this rigid piece of knitting out. So when I cast on, here, let me get a better angle on it. When I cast on, what I like to do when I'm knitting the first row, that first row, after you cast on 40 stitches, the first row is 34 stitches. So I like to break my knitting up into a way where I can easily recognize this is the first 14 stitches, this is the middle 20, this is the top 6. So when I'm knitting that first row that says 34 stitches, I like to start, when I get up to 14 stitches, I like to put a stitch marker there. And then I continue on the other 20 stitches to complete the first row of 34. Then you turn. And when you turn, so let's say you're coming back the other way, or no, you would be coming back this way. Yeah, no, flip it. When you turn, when you go back for row 2, you have to knit 20 stitches. So you're going to knit from the 6 stitches where you stopped to the 20 stitches, which is where your marker is. Then you're going to flip again for row 3, and you're going to knit back up 26 stitches. And that takes you all the way to the top. It's the 20 stitches for the middle and the 6 stitches for the top. So row 3 is 26 stitches. Row 4, when you flip it, is going to be all 40 stitches from the top all the way to the bottom. Row 5, after you flip it, is going to just go up 34 stitches up to this gap before the last 6 stitches. And row 6 is 34 stitches from where you stopped and turned all the way down to the bottom. So what I like to do is write myself a little cheat sheet. And this cheat sheet tells me exactly what I need to know. The first row, I knit 34 stitches and I stop at this gap where there's 6 stitches left. Then I turn. Then I knit 20 stitches, which will take me from here down to that marker. So that's 20 stitches to the marker. Then I flip it and I knit 26 stitches, which is from the marker all the way to the top. So 26 to the top. Row 4 is all 40 stitches, so you're going to knit every single stitch. Row 5 is from the end up 34 stitches, so it's 34 up to the gap. And then row 6 is 34 stitches all the way back down. And then you're done a wedge, and you'll do 25 of those respectively. As you're knitting it, you might decide that 25 wedges is too much. You might wrap this around your head and realize you don't need 25, you can stop at 24, or with this one, it seems like 25 might be a little short, so I might do a couple of more wedges, and that's all there is to it. So make yourself a little cheat sheet and put in a little stitch marker there at stitch number 14, and it should make the wedges a whole lot easier to understand. I hope that helps.